You've been in this business 47 years. You were the longtime chief of the city of Livonia, started your career there, been 10 years now as director of the association. What is the state of your profession today?
I would say upheaval
Mhm,
describes it very much, Nolan. I've never seen anything quite like this, precipitated by
mhm,
the killing of George Floyd
right.
and what has been the outcome and the fallout from that. And I've truly never seen anything like this.
The chiefs agree, though, I think that reform is necessary. And you have been spending much of the last year working with communities and their activists and the people who want to see reforms to try to come to some sort of agreement. What is the right mix?
I like to use a different term than police reform. Can we improve? Absolutely. Every profession should constantly be improving. What I did 40 years ago when I
Mhm.
started, we don't do today. And
Right.
what we're doing today, we're not going to do 40 years from now. And I would point to this, Nolan, that a lot of people don't realize this. We started a police accreditation program with the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police 5 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And much of what they're calling for in reform are things that we have in our accreditation program already. Departments should have, and if you're going to be accredited, duty to intervene, has to have bias-based policing policies being prohibited along with training for dealing with people with mental illness. No-knock warrants are currently against the law in Michigan.
Mhm.
Michigan's law right now says you have to knock and announce. Chokeholds, they're already been ruled that they're deadly force by the Sixth Circuit. So a lot of the things that people are calling for, saying a reform, we've actually either already called for or they're actually already there.
So the state legislature, a bill was introduced last week to end qualified immunity for police officers. How do you feel about that?
That would probably be the worst thing that could happen to our profession so far. What it does is it takes away the ability for police officers to have protection when they make good faith, uh, take action in good faith that the courts may later rule is unconstitutional. But at the time that they did it, it wasn't known. It would hold them personally liable. And
Mhm.
the other thing which people don't think about here, this has to do a lot with cities too, because when the officer gets sued, the city's going to get sued.
Right.
And almost everything we would do would then be open for lawsuit.
You've put in place a number of measures already in Michigan. What still needs to be done?
We need to have some resources to deal with the mentally ill people that we deal
Mm.
with. Unfortunately, so many of these incidents that happen, these tragic incidents, deal with people that have mental illness. And one of the largest treaters of mental illness is our jails and our county jails. We don't have the facilities to do that. So we have the opportunity to start to see some involvement of mental health experts and actually social workers in there, because a lot of what the police do truly aren't criminal activity, but there's nobody else for anybody to call at 2 o'clock in the morning when they have somebody that's acting up other than the police.
What about putting police together and with the community on a more personal level?
I believe that's also a good opportunity that needs to be taken care of. Many departments now are regularly meeting with their activist communities. You need to get to know each other before something bad happens, because those relationships are already there. And it's easier to deal with something when you know the people on the other side.